The Influencer's Edge is brought to you by the Rapid Sales Accelerator. If you're ready to skyrocket your sales by 30% or more in just 90 days, then you need to claim your free training right now. You'll learn 4 words that will compel your prospects to trust you like they were children within the first 3 to 5 minutes of any conversation across any platform and any medium. You'll learn how to give your prospects objection amnesia, to crush objections like, I need to talk to my spouse, or I need more time to think it over, or it's too expensive. And finally, you'll get a free recorded audio training that will install unbelievable attitudes for success and wipe out any limiting beliefs. So if you'd like to claim your free training now, go to www.paulrossbook.com. Do it before your competition does it now. Welcome to the Influencer's Edge. This is the place where you come to get the latest breakthroughs, cutting-edge insights, tools, and techniques to leapfrog over the pack in sales, persuasion, and influence. Be sure you visit our website at www.theinfluencersedge.com. And while you're there, subscribe to us via your favorite network. Now sit back, tune in, and enjoy today's episode. Welcome back to the Influencer's Edge. And today we have a very special guest. I said it because she radiates what her last name is, which is Love. So welcome, Lainne Love. Hello.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me.
I already feel a very great connection to you. I can feel your joy. It radiates from you. And I think that's a great thing. So I'm going to briefly read your biography, and I have things to ask just from your bio. That's how it often goes on the show. I'll put on my readers here, and here we go. So Lainne Love, you are an award-winning spiritual psychology coach. Stop right there. So what do you mean by spiritual? It's such a woo-woo term. Does that mean tarot cards, holding on to crystals, channeling entities? What in the world do you mean by spiritual?
Yeah, it can mean all of those things. I don't know if you can see in the background, you can see some crystals, you can see my award.
No, I can't see your award. Can you see it?
This is this is my award. It blends in the background because it's glass.
Well, it's transparent. I can't read it. What does it say?
Well, in that case, it says, this is what it says. Spiritual Excellence Halo Award.
Wow, that's wonderful. Yeah. I have awards. I gave them to myself. I just made them up. So tell me, what do you mean by spiritual?
Spiritual, well, in true honesty, I do mean all of those things. And in terms of like how I bring it to my work and how that relates to psychology, we are spiritual beings. I think that probably your audience is definitely connected to that, but it is just the truth of what it means to be a human being. We're more than just flesh and bone and blood. Yeah. There is a spirit that animates us, and there is a longing for a deeper meaning and connection. And that seems to be fulfilled based on my experience and my relationship to others by connecting to the divine, whatever that means to you, knowing that there is a purpose and a deeper connection and a deeper experience.
So because, I'm sorry, go ahead, dear.
Yeah, no, please go ahead and ask.
So because the show is primarily geared to people who are salespeople and entrepreneurs, and they're so money. Success is the world measures it. And we live in a capitalistic and society where the quality of your life or what you can do with your life is often measured by money. So how do you balance that drive, that natural, necessary drive to run a business and to sell and to do that, and yet at the same time connect with something that has nothing to do with that? How do you create the balance?
That's where there's an opportunity to shift your perspective and to realize that that business is divine. And there is a connection to spirit and business and energy and business, that we are all divine creators, and that we're here, and every action that we make and everything that we do and everything that we produce contributes to the greater whole. So actually being in business and generating money and generating success is in essence making a greater contribution to the whole. So business and money is highly spiritual.
Well, let me push back a little bit because I
Yeah,
warned you that I would. A lot
I
of
love
people,
it.
oh, well, because a lot of people are thinking, no, business is about planning and measuring data and doing the rest of that. And I don't find, I'm just speaking as the devil's advocate, so to speak.
Yes.
I don't find anything spiritual in that. I just find it, I understand the importance of it, but I don't see how it's connected to anything divine. I'm just offering that
Yeah.
question because I know many people are thinking, what is this woo-woo stuff? Why I don't want to, I have my answer, but this show is about you, not about.
Yeah, they're saying BS. And that again is just like the opportunity. So as I work with entrepreneurs in my business as clients, we come to caps. We come to like that moment of no matter what it is that I'm doing all the steps, and yet I can't seem to push back my next ceiling, my next goal, even though I've
Right.
implemented all of the strategies, all of the steps, all of the systems. From a spiritual lens, that becomes a container. It's a container. So in order, and we can even logically understand this, like at every level of business, it requires something new of you. It requires you to be able to, find different creative solutions to different problems and
Very
challenges.
true.
And as you have more money, more income, then the sets of challenges and the sets of problems that you have become magnified.
That's true.
And so as that happens, we need to be seeking for and searching for more eloquent solutions. And
This
that
is
comes as essentially like a divine download. It's out of the box thinking, usually where we find those solutions once we've utilized all of the tools, all of the steps, all of the know-how. It becomes like inspiration or out of the box. That's more of the logical term.
I
But
love this.
yeah, right.
Now we're in full alignment with the purpose. One of the purposes of the show is
Yeah.
to bring on board people who don't think conventionally, who think outside the box. Some of them are shock people. That's what I like to do. I don't think you like to do that. But yeah, I really get it. One of the things I love about what you just said is that with more money and more success, it brings a different level of challenges. I have a mentor, just very quickly, because I want to make it about you, but my mentor, Gary Halbert, once wrote a newsletter and he said, I'm in trouble. I'm really successful. I just made $5 million on this piece of copy, and now I'm in serious trouble. And he said, this is not a joke, because the more you have, the more the darker tendencies come out. So I love this. It's sort of like a spiritual guardrail you have around the ego. Can you talk a little bit about this? I know it's not in your biography, but as I feel into what you're saying, what do you think about this? And do you teach your clients about the managing the ego around success?
I don't, yes, ego is certainly like a part of it, and we could look at it through the lens of ego. And I really focus always on creative solutions.
Cool.
So it's noticing what's in the way and taking a little bit of a different route to get to where we want to go. So I have $5 million that I've just acquired, using the example of your
Right.
boss. And now what do I do with it? Like that was my goal. And now that I'm here, I don't know what it is that I should be doing. And I'm noticing that I want to be doing these things. However, it feels somewhat out of alignment.
Yeah, I
So
love that.
I like, right. How do I know what the next best step is to take? And sure, some of that can come from doing research and practical steps, right? And thinking about, this is how I want to build out my company, or this is an investment I want to make, or these are the people I want to hire. Infrastructure it definitely is, and planning is part of business building, a very important part. And figuring out where you are in alignment and where your actual next best step is for your greatest unfoldment and for like the maximum development and capacity of your company. That's a creative solution. We can't plan for that because we never know.
I
We
love
never
that.
know, but we want to
And
be
this
surprised by it.
And this is so honest of you, because so many people say, yes, plan your next step, and there's always a plan, and you can control everything that happens. But I think it's a courageous thing for you to point out, and a courageous thing for people to accept that nope, chaos comes with every level of success, and you really need to have a grounding and something beyond your day-to-day stuff. So let me dive in a little bit more. So you are award-winning. See, I told you that we go right questions from the biography. You're award-winning spiritual psychology and best-selling author. Congratulations. What's the name of your book?
I have 2 books. I have How to Use Hypnosis to Master Your Brain, and I have this one right in front of me. Actually, I still have all the tags on it. This is A Bigger Mission, and this was my do some edits copy.
I love that.
Yeah, do some edits copy. A Bigger Mission that's co-written by 12 authors in total.
Oh, wow.
And we all share a story of something very challenging that we survived, and how it is that we ended up finding a solution to that and learning how to thrive in the end. So it's definitely entertaining and insightful, and I love it
Good.
and helpful.
So good. And by the way, as one hypnotist to the other, because I've been doing it a long time as well, as you listen to the sound of my voice and take a breath, that it's not necessary to go into that beautiful trance of connection between the two of us. Where did you get your hypnosis training? Just as a quick aside.
I studied with Marissa Peer. So I do rapid transformational therapy.
Beautiful. Look at this. We have so much in common. And you're CEO of A Bigger Mission. And you're a very proud mama. Good for you. The toughest, most important job in the world. How many kidlets do you got?
I have one son, and he is a diagnosed neurodivergent little munchkin. And so I've had, he's been my greatest teacher out of all of the different forms of education and jobs that I've had. Definitely being a parent has been my greatest opportunity for becoming a better human being.
You are the second guest with a neurodivergent child in the past 30 days who told me the exact same thing. And I am neurodivergent myself. I had someone say to me, have you explored your neurodivergence? And they knew right away. So yeah, I get it. It's beautiful, beautiful. So you are passionate about innovation and dedicated to people who are self-activated, taking action, wanting to positively contribute to the evolution of humanity by leaving a legacy of love. You talk a lot about this word legacy. One of the reasons why I said yes to my producer when I looked at your application, I said, yes, absolutely. You talk about legacy. Yeah. So what do you mean by legacy? As so many people are sitting here are thinking, I sell cars or I sell plumbing solutions. How do I leave a legacy? Well,
beautiful.
First, yeah, let's get into that.
All of those things are important. Your legacy is who you are. How do you show up in the world? What is it that you're creating by the essence of who you are being, and how are you interacting every day with everybody in your life? And the big word here is intentional.
Help me understand what you mean.
So we can go throughout our lives and our days just on autopilot, trying to survive, or even trying to create money, wealth, generate generate that. But what's the intention behind it? Let's go deeper. So if I want to create success and business and wealth, amazing. That's a highly spiritual act. I fully support that, but why? What is the intention behind it? So your legacy is how you are living an intentional life. How is it that you are interacting and treating every single person that you're coming in contact with? Because people don't actually really remember what it is that you've created. They remember who you were. They remember how you made them feel. When they talk about you, they don't talk about the successful business that you had. They
No,
talked about what an amazing person you were, how kind you were, how you helped them with this or that, how loving you were, how present you were. That's your legacy.
I think it's a great distinction because it allows us to separate the whole idea of narcissistic fame and how many followers we have on social media. I think our society is orbiting around the twin dark stars of narcissism
Yeah.
and overload, just overstimulation. So I think that's a great distinction between being famous. People think legacy means fame. Nothing wrong with having a worldwide impact like Gandhi
Ah,
or that's great, or Martin Luther King or even Elon Musk. But I get the idea. It's an everyday thing that anyone can tap into.
that we need to. And that's circling back to my book, A Bigger Mission, and the organization in which we started thereafter, which was to help people live into their bigger missions. It's everybody's story is really, really important. If we're getting spiritual, we say something like every person has like a key code embedded in them. So when I interact with you, I activate or awaken or inspire something within you to come alive. And then it's up to you to take action thereafter and fulfill that mission, so to speak. But when we interact with each other, when we share with each other, when we live into our story and share our story and birth our missions, and your mission could be opening up a coffee shop, because in that space, there's something that happens in your space where you draw to you certain types of creative people, and you create an environment which then enhances the creative ability within somebody. And it could be the somebody that comes to your coffee shop within that environment that then is able to give birth to the next
That's wonderful. That's
amazing
true.
idea and innovation that's going to greatly impact, humanity.
This is what comes to mind as I sit here and absorb your message is people create legacy, open space. I'm using so many ill-defined terms, as we say in NLP, but people who have a legacy create spaces for other people. They have a ripple effect
Yeah.
where they create a place where other people can work on their own mission. Does
Yes.
that make sense? And if you're not creating a legacy, you're running a business. But if you're creating a
Exactly.
legacy, you're running a business, and on top of that, you're creating the word, I guess the word is container, that has something in it that allows other people to work on their mission. Am I getting it?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we can create businesses, and that's great, but we can take it one step further and create a legacy within our business.
How do you balance this? This question just occurs to me because one of the things that so many successful people I've studied have said, look, goal setting is great. Having the right team is necessary, but what's not taught is making great decisions, is
Mhm.
being able to see, oh, wait a minute, what assumptions am I making? Are those assumptions true? How do you balance the spiritual aspect and the creative aspect with having that hard-nosed, wait a minute, is this decision a good one? Where are the facts? Where are the data? Do you understand what I'm saying? It's
I
not an
do.
easy
I
question.
do. It is. Oh, well, I think it is actually. That
Help me.
just comes with, well, that comes into how much you're willing to grow, your willingness, I guess is the right word.
Well,
Um, and And your ability to, or I guess your willingness is the right word again, in thinking outside the box. Okay, what we were talking about in the beginning of this interview was about using tools. And those are great things and necessary things within building a business. Yes, you have your team, you have your systems, you have your plan. We need goals because we need to direct the energy. So if we're speaking from a spiritual, universal mindset, the universe, our spiritual energy needs to know where are we directing our influence and our energy. So that comes from making a plan. So it's not only just for our conscious minds, it's also for our energetic beings and beingness, that we create these goals so that we know how to direct our energy and our mindset and our resources. And we can only think from what it is that we know. So I can only drum up dreams and or solutions based on the experience that I've had, and same with all of my team members. And that's why it's also great to have a team, is to have, different minds coming together to dream up ideas about where you want to go, and also solutions. But again, they're limited. It's limited to your experience. If you want to grow exponentially and innovate, then you tap into the spiritual dynamic, the spiritual approach, the spiritual mindset. So that is using tools like meditation, and even doing things like, your trauma work. I would even call that a spiritual tool.
Every day.
Yeah, right. So if I'm limited by my trauma or my subconscious programming, circling back to hypnosis there, then I can only get to like level 9.
So true.
I'm built to go to level 20, but if I'm not using all of the resources at hand, I'm never going to get there.
And not only
that's when you have to incorporate.
And not only that, let me put this on the table and see how you pick it up, what you think of what I'm sort of laying down, how it lands for you. If you don't learn to handle your trauma, you'll be setting goals based on the trauma, not based on what would serve your highest good and the people around you. So is a lot of your work involved around leading your clientele to healing using different modalities?
Yes. So removing what's in the way. So I'm experiencing this. This is what I want to have. And I'm experiencing this. So there's 2 steps that we do. One, imagine that you have what it is that you are striving for. So I'm striving for $5 million this year. Great. Amazing. So we have to work on what's in the way there. What's in the gap? What do we need to remove in order for you to be able to get there? And we need to build another container. Once you get to 5 million, what's your goal then? Okay, my goal is 20, from 5 million to 20. So we, in tandem, we have to be building out the $20 million container as well. So that's going to accelerate your results and give you what is termed as like a quantum leap.
I think this is really cool because you mentioned the gap. And I think, again, I want to see how this lands with you and get I told you this is not a traditional show. I'm not asking the questions that are there but I'm feeding off what you're giving me. I have found in my own life and in working with people, because I do healing work with people too, what's in the gap is often based on the trauma.
Yes.
It's not really a gap that's out in the world.
No.
It's the trauma that's saying, I can't do this, or I don't want to do this, or I'll be hurt if I do this, or I'll be betraying the legacy of my family if I do this. Does that resonate with you? Have you found that in your practice?
100%. And that's why planning and tools and systems and all of those things can only take you so far, because you're limited by yourself. And you're limited by the things that you're unaware of. And that's your trauma, your programming, your ancestral programming, your
Oh yeah.
past parallel life
Yeah.
programming, your
I had to
the
learn that.
collective programming, that everything, we're influenced by so much more than we realize. But once you become aware of that, all of the tools exist in which we can eliminate those blocks.
Lainne, there's a wonderful book called, and I didn't believe in this inherited trauma or any of it. I didn't until I read a book called It Didn't Start With You
Oh, I've never heard of that one.
by Mark Wolyn, Wolyn. Have you heard of this book?
No, but I'll have to read it.
It thoroughly convinced me and really gave me a kick in the ass. And by the way, everyone who's watching the show, I recommend you pick up that book. It Didn't Start With You by Mark Wolyn. A girlfriend who was about to break up with me gave me that book and said, "You need to read this. Goodbye." I'm like, wow, I didn't get much out of that relationship except the book recommendation. So if you want to dump me, at least give me a good book recommendation. Let's dive a little bit further into this. We got 5 minutes left. This is great. Are you having fun?
Oh yeah,
This is cool.
absolutely. This
This
is
is
great
cool.
line of questioning.
I know, because it's coming from what you're actually giving me rather than what's on the biography. Talk about crawling through the mud. Oh, no. We have time for one more. So creating your life by drawing clear boundaries. This is so important, but I want your message to come out. What do you mean by that? And why is it important?
Well, that sort of integrates what we were just talking about. Creating clear boundaries is one, doing the work of knowing who you are and what you accept and what you don't accept and where you're going. And where you don't want to go is actually a part of knowing where you want to go. So what it is that you have the time and energy for, and where it is that you're going, what you accept and what you don't accept.
So good.
But even also, I mean, since we're integrating spirituality, that goes one step deeper into that, into where is it that you're leaving your energy, calling back your energy, clearing energy from your space and from your room. We
Man,
have an
I believe in
opportunity to
this.
create boundaries everywhere that we go. And the more that you can be open to the reality that everything that we come in contact with has an energetic imprint, and it's affecting you in some way.
So true.
Yeah, it's so true. If you sit in a chair of somebody that before you was sitting in the chair, they were really angry or they were depressed, and you're feeling fine, and you walk into the room and you sit in the chair, you will have an energetic shift. You are affected by everything that you're coming into contact with.
How this shows up, if I could, how this shows up for me
Mhm.
is I have come to the conclusion at 65 that what I want more than anything in my life is peace. I can evaluate now, because I've really set that boundary and that value within 10 minutes. I can evaluate in any context. If someone's going to bring drama or chaos, I pick up on it because I've learned to value it. And that boundary is nope, you're out. I don't care what else you can offer and dangling that you offer or you seem to offer. I get it now. That peace is more important to me than passion, than any of that other stuff, even in romantic stuff. No, my partners have to bring me peace, or partner has to bring me peace, and vice versa. It doesn't matter. Vice versa. You've been a wonderful guest. This is really great. I've enjoyed this. Is not just a yammer, but an actual beautiful exchange. Thank you for gracing me
Thank you.
with that. I know my audience, especially with a guest of your quality and a human of your quality, is going to want to stay in the conversation with you. So how would people watching this or just listening stay in the conversation with you?
The best way to connect with me is you can create a call with me. The most valuable thing I have to give is my time. And so when I can, I book out 15-minute free calls so that I can either I can help you, or I can direct you to somebody that can help you, because that is my ultimate mission, is to have you living into your bigger mission. So
How do they do that? How would
go
they
to
do that?
Lainne.com, LAINNE.com, and book a free call, or go to Lainne Love on Instagram and leave me a message there.
Beautiful. We'll put those links in the show notes. And so for all of you, our guest again has been not Lady Love, maybe you're Lady Love as well, Lainne Love. And stay in the green room. I want to chat with you for just a minute. We'll see you next time on The Influencer's Edge.
The Influencer's Edge is brought to you by the Rapid Sales Accelerator. If you're ready to skyrocket your sales by 30% or more in just 90 days, then you need to claim your free training right now. You'll learn 4 words that will compel your prospects to trust you like they were children within the first 3 to 5 minutes of any conversation across any platform in any medium. You'll learn how to give your prospects objection amnesia, to crush objections like, I need to talk to my spouse, or I need more time to think it over, or it's too expensive. And finally, you'll get a free recorded audio training that will install unbelievable attitudes for success and wipe out any limiting beliefs. So if you'd like to claim your free training now, go to www.paulrossbook.com. Do it before your competition does it now. Thank you for tuning in to the Influencer's Edge, where you get the latest breakthroughs, cutting-edge insights, tools, and techniques so you can leapfrog over the pack in sales, influence, and persuasion. Remember to visit our website at www.theinfluencersedge.com to enjoy even more great episodes like this one. We look forward to seeing you again on the Influencer's Edge Show.